Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 2840 and Doubleshot number 2734. We're discussing with Superman here. One actual Superman trade and some other issues. The trade is Superman, The Death of Clark Kent, which collects Superman, Volume 2, issues 100 through 102. Avengers of Superman, 523 to 525. Action Comics, 710 and 711. Superman, The Man of Steel, issues 44 to 46. And the very first issue of Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Now, this story is bizarre to say the least. We started with Clark arriving at his apartment and you have this doll thing dressed up as him. And then this kind of leads issue 100 of Superman. Now, this is a weird thing that they did in the 90s for some reason. Where anytime any book hit issue 100, oh yeah, by the way, we're also going to be discussing, aside from the trade issues here, we're also going to be discussing issues 103 to 105 of Superman Volume 2, Avengers Superman 526, 528, Action Comics 712 to 715, Superman of Steel 46, 47 to 49, and Man of Steel Superman Tomorrow number 4, excuse me. So, yes, for some reason they had this as the cover for this book, also for Flash, Justice League America, and Wonder Woman. They all had the same exact style of issue 100. And this is really bizarre storyline here, where at one point Superman sheds his costume and goes butt naked and goes alter reality. At one point, he's going to the past, so he's meeting a past version of Lana. Of course, he has no intuition. Oh yeah, he's wearing he's kind of back in Superman attire, but then he's back in the past for some reason. It's a bizarre story arc. It's one of the most weirdest things I've ever seen. Though your writers of these storylines are, for Superman, Man of Steel, it's Louis Simonson. For Superman, it's Dan Jurgens. For Avengers of Superman, it is Carl Ketzler. Excuse me. Action Comics is David Lee. Now, the new comic we have here is Superman, Man of Tomorrow, based on one of his many nicknames. It does have some in common with Batman Chronicles. It's a quarterly comic. Yeah, mostly put, basically, it fills in that 1 week gap that we don't have a Superman comic. It's like, if there's a 5th week, release an issue of Superman of Steel. And this book right here is the first, and it's the only one of the 5 books that has that diamond numbering from start to finish. Everything else gets dropped at a certain period of time, but this book, nope, never did. And I find it interesting, no, this book is in trade. Yeah, not many of the, by the way, Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, there's is roughly 15 issues. And get this. The first issue, which is discussed here, that's in trade. Issue 3 is in trade. But here's something really, really weird. Issue 7 is in trade. And that's it. Not much of series in trade. 15 issues only collect 3. I don't get it either. Yeah. So, it is, like I mentioned, this is one of the most bizarre stories I have ever come across. Yeah. And of course, there's the Dime Weekly stuff. Yeah, we also have Virtue of Age of Liberty and some later, well, we'll get to that. So, also the Superman logo for when it comes to Adventures of Superman, they put Clark Kent's glasses over the S. Yeah, I'm not really sure why they did this for, but they did. It's probably a gimmick thing per se. Is this storyline bad? No, it is not. It is weird. I do gotta admit that. It is very, very weird. But here's how the order of books go. Um, and this all deals with Conduit. Yeah, he's kind of in a way the main villain of the story, and he dies by the end. Yeah, by the end of this Death of Superman, Death of Clark Kent stuff, he gets killed off. Yep. So here's basically the parts here. Um, the Man of Steel issue 44, that's a prelude. That's where it starts. Yeah. Yeah, part one is basically Superman of Steel, its first issue in trade. And then, of course, Death of Clark Kent begins with issue number 100. That's where it starts. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there was also Green Arrow. They did the same thing with that one, too. Uh, part Part 2 is in Avengers Superman 523. Part 4 is in Action Comics 710. Part 3 is Superman of Steel 45. 4, actually it was 4. 5 is Superman Volume 2 101. 6 is Avengers Superman 524. Accidentally, which is the penultimate issue of the story, that's when they kill off Conduit. And then the finale is in Superman of Steel 46. Yeah. Of course, this was the pipeline at that point. And then moving on to the issues that are not in trade, starting with Superman 102, where it's returned to look like Cyborg Superman in Black Adam, but yeah, just hallucination by Blaze. Yeah, it's more. It's like this basically this issue here. It's like these next few issues just deal with the aftermath of that storyline. And yes, and then we continue over to Avengers Superman 525. And it just basically continuing that here, which of course leads into the first issue of Man of Tomorrow, which gotta love the cover. This issue's written by Roger Stern. Yeah, he's the one who wrote this thing. We also the first appearance of Contessa Erica Alexandra Del Portis. Who is this woman? Lex Luthor's wife. Yes. Yeah, she's also the mother of one of his few children he's had over the years. Yeah, Lex himself has had several children. Yes. There's also Lena Luthor, who is his daughter. Who he named after his late sister. Yeah. I do find interesting they bring his ex-wife in here. And I think at that point, now move on to the basically that looks like that. I think in the case of like Superman 102 and Avengers Superman 525, and this just is the aftermath, and then pretty much move on to issue 712, where we deal with Savior, who returns this issue here. Yeah, and this he would not appear much after this per se. No, not really. It's like a visit in prison, and then move on to Superman of Steel 47. Yeah, one thing interesting though is that Perry's adopted son, Keith, he appears on a regular basis in the Man of Steel title until around issue 660. He appears a few more times afterwards. But that's basically what his title, what he was in, was this very book here. Mm-hmm. And we also deal with Alex Trent, aka Bloodsport. Moving on to Superman Volume 2 103, where basically we begin a storyline where on the cover, yeah, it looks like take on. Let's see. Where on the cover it seems like, oh, he's going to take on the Parasite. Not really. Yeah, we deal with a character named Arc Light, who's enemy of Agent Liberty. But yeah, then 526, where it's like two blood sports fighting each other. The original blood sport gets killed off in this issue. Yes. Yeah. Basically, the writer of this issue, Carl gets to kill off the original blood sport, and the other one just dies. But he comes back. Moving on to 713 of Action Comics, where it looks like Superman's fighting off against Savior. And then Man of Steel 48, where it deals with Aquaman guest star here. Yeah, it's a quick team between the two of them. Moving on to 104, which, yeah, this is the return of Cyborg Superman. And yeah, this is the first full appearance of one of the denizens of Dark. It basically, like, yeah, and of course they bring back Cyborg Superman, who is simply known as the Cyborg. And then we deal with Return of Alpha Centaurian. Yeah, he was a character who appeared first in Zero Hour. Yeah, Alpha Centaurian returns in 527 of Avengers of Superman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also Joker's here too, but it has nothing to do with Emperor Joker. 714 is, well, basically fighting the Joker, which I think that this was the first time he took on the Joker. Oh yeah, they also say Joker's body count by this issue. 4 people. Yep. And then Superman of Steel 49 is Superman versus a character named Skyhook. Yep. I think this may have been one of his last appearances he made. Yes, he doesn't appear much. I think he appears like one more time after this in one other book. Moving on to Superman 105, teams up with Green Lantern. Take on Dreadnought and Paspan. And then 528, which Les mentioned soon talk about here, where it's deal with the character these two group know as the Tribunal, which, yeah, they make the first appearance later, and then moving on to Man of Steel number 2. This is basically continuing the Alpha Centaurian story arc here. Yep. Yeah. Also, guest appearance issued by Abracadabra, Arclight, Lex Luthor. They even had the first Parasite appear here. Well, actually, yeah. And then 715 basically has Superman versus the Parasite, where he's got like the teeth is like eat him. And that's it. I'd say that the storyline, the death of Superman, the death of Clark Kent, is interesting but bizarre to say the least. The aftermath I thought was really good, and the stuff afterwards was really good as well. So I'm gonna give these issues a 10 out. I'm gonna give these issues roughly a 9 out of 10. I would give it a 10, but the only reason because the death of Clark Kent story was bizarre to say the least. So That's pretty much it. Particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit the dislike button. Next up is the Misfit of Demon King Academy and our Comic Corner. On what? You'll find out later, okay? Next video. Bye.